bones in the elbow joint. We are having humerus, radius, ulna. So how you will know which is radius, which is ulna? The lateral side of the bone is radius, and the medial side of the bone is ulna. The bone which is towards our thumb, radius. The bone which is towards our little finger, ulna. Okay? So we are having three bones mainly. Distal part of the humerus, radius, ulna. So it carries one mark. Joints. How many joints we are having? 4 joints. Humeroradial means articulation between humerus and radius. Humero-ulnar means articulation between humerus and ulna. Proximal radioulnar, distal radioulnar. Radioulnar proximal. Proximal means the upper part. Radioulnar distal means the down part. 3 bones, 4 joints. Humeroradial, humero-ulnar, radioulnar proximal, radioulnar distal. Clear? Okay. Now you have to remember 2 important points. You have to remember is the articulations of the humeroradial and humero-ulnar. This part of the humerus which articulates with the radius, it is capitulum. Please remember, capitulum. The part of the ulna which is articulating with the humerus, this is trochleum. See, these are all things what you know in anatomy. It is nothing new you are learning. Okay? Capitulum with radius, trochlea with ulna. Clear? Concave, convex. Can you tell me here which is concave, which is convex? Humeroradial.
Humero-convex.
Yes, good.
Radius concave.
Okay. Humerus is convex, radius is
Always humerus concave, convex.
It is not like that. Sometimes it will change. But here, what about humero-ulnar?
Humero is convex.
Yes. Again, here also humerus is convex, ulna is concave. Okay. So it carries one mark. Then the first joint, humero-ulnar joint. Humero-ulnar joint. Degrees of freedom, only 1 degree of freedom. Flexion, extension. Sagittal plane, frontal axis. Flexion, extension. So what is the osteokinematics? Please remember, now flexion, extension, humerus is fixed, ulna is moving. Can you tell me how the roll and slide?
Roll and slide in the same direction.
Good. Roll and slide same direction. Why? Ulna is concave, humerus is convex. Concave on convex, same side. Okay? Flexion, same side. Extension, same side. Because concave moving on convex. Clear?
Yes.
Then, only 1 degree, please remember. Remaining all 3 joints, humeroradial, proximal radioulnar, distal radioulnar, 2 degrees of freedom. Flexion, extension, supination, pronation. Only humero-ulnar, 1 degree of freedom. Flexion, extension. Remaining all humeroradial, proximal radioulnar, distal radioulnar, flexion, extension, supination, pronation. Now, humero-radial. First one, flexion, extension. Can you tell me, flexion, extension, humerus is fixed, radius is moving. How it is? The roll and slide?
Same
Again,
side.
it is same side. So please remember, both humero-radial, humero-ulnar, flexion, extension, same side. Because concave on convex. Flexion, same side. Extension, same side. Now, supination, pronation. This is supination. What is happening during supination? the both bones, that is radius and ulna, are lying side by side.
Parallel to the side.
Side by means like parallel. They are parallel to each other. Both radius and ulna parallel to each side means they are lying side by side. During pronation, can you tell me which bone is moving?
Radius.
Yes.
Radius.
Radius move, ulna fixed. Pronation, radius is moving, ulna is fixed. Now, in proximal radioulnar, distal radioulnar, you have to remember two things. The supination, pronation. See, can you tell me what is the difference between supination, pronation? This one. Supination, pronation, this one.
Weight bearing.
Weight
bearing.
bearing.
Non-weight bearing. As I told you in the theory class, this is non-weight bearing. Non-weight bearing pronation. Radius move, ulna fixed. Weight bearing pronation.
Opposite.
Ulna move, radius fixed.
Opposite.
Please, yes, please remember this one. Non-weight bearing, radius move, ulna fixed. In weight bearing, ulna move, radius fixed. Now what about the osteokinematics? During non-weight bearing pronation, how the shape here?
Convex.
Convex. Down. Once it is convex here means down it will be
Concave.
automatically concave. So in proximal radioulnar joint during non-weight bearing, here it is opposite side, the roll and slide, here it is same side.
Again, Doctor.
See, here radius is moving, ulna is fixed. Okay? During non-weight bearing, here it is convex on concave. Means roll and slide,
Opposite direction.
opposite direction. Here, how the radius shape?
Concave.
Concave. Concave on convex. So how it is?
Same side.
Same side. Okay? This is non-weight bearing. Now weight bearing. What I told weight bearing? Ulna is moving, radius is fixed. How the ulna shape here?
Concave.
Concave. How the ulna shape distal?
Convex.
Convex. So here concave on convex.
Same side.
Same side at proximal radioulnar joint,
Opposite side. And
opposite side in distal radioulnar joint. That's it. I'll tell you again one more time. During non-weight bearing, radius move, ulna fixed. So in proximal radioulnar, convex on concave, opposite side, and in distal, concave on convex, same side. And in weight bearing, ulna is moving, radius is fixed. So how the ulna shape here?
concave.
Concave. So concave on convex,
Same
same side at proximal radioulnar, and at distal radioulnar, opposite side, because convex on concave. Clear? So mainly we are having flexion, extension, supination, pronation. Now, applied anatomy. The first one is carrying angle. What is carrying angle? As I told you, cubitus valgus angle or carrying angle is same. When we keep your hands like this and standing, can you tell me how the hands are going? Lateral side or medial side?
Lateral side.
Lateral side. Okay? This lateral angle, okay, at the elbow is 15 degrees, 1-5, called as carrying angle or cubitus angle. As I told in the theory class, when you keep your hands straight, see the hands will be going slightly towards lateral side. The angulation here it is called as carrying angle. Normal is 15. If the angle is more than 15 degrees, valgus, cubitus valgus. If the angle is less than 15, cubitus
Varus.
varus. Always remember, valgus, more angle, varus, less angle. The problem in ulnar nerve, overstretching of the ulnar nerve. See, some people, if you ask him to keep like this, you can see the hands are going more. It is not an abnormality, but overstretching of the ulnar nerve. Please remember, if your ulnar nerve stretches more or damage anything, this angle will be more or less. More angle, valgus, less angle, varus. Next one, tennis elbow, golfer's elbow. Tennis elbow.
It's like that.
People who play tennis more, they'll complain of pain at the lateral aspect of the epicondyle. Lateral epicondylitis. Lateral epicondylitis means inflammation of the at the lateral epicondyle. Especially they use more extensors. See, in tennis, what they'll do, they'll play more like this. Maybe if you have seen it. When they're playing like this, they complain more pain in the lateral epicondyle. This is called as tennis elbow. Golfer's elbow. I think you know golf game. There will be a hole will be there and they will try to keep it, the ball. What they'll use more of flexors. And they'll complain pain more in the medial epicondyle. Medial epicondylitis, you have to tell. Itis means
Inflammation.
Inflammation at the medial epicondyle, golfer's elbow. Inflammation at the lateral epicondyle, tennis elbow. Clear?
Yes.
Three things. Carrying angle, normal is 15 degrees, more is valgus angle, less is varus angle. Tennis elbow, lateral epicondylitis, inflammation at the lateral epicondyle as they use more of their extensors. Golfer's elbow, people who play golf, they complain more of at the medial side, at the medial epicondyle, inflammation at the medial epicondyle. Medial epicondylitis, you have to tell this word. Epicondylitis. I-T-I-S. Itis means, as you told, inflammation. Flexors, extensors. Tennis elbow, they play more of their extensors. Golfer's elbow, they use more of their flexors. Clear?
Yes.
That finishes our elbow joint. Just see if any doubts are there, you can ask. Then we'll go next to the wrist joint. Yes.